Alright, so step 2 of getting the headers installed on my 2002 Toyota Sequoia is complete. I just wanted to go over a couple things with you guys if you are thinking about tackling the job yourself, whether that be to just wanting to get a better sound, see some performance increases, or to remedy the exhaust tick that you might be having coming out of your exhaust manifolds, like I did with this OEM one. This is my driver's side. For as long as I've had the vehicle, which is about a year, I've had a slight ticking noise. And whenever I pulled it off, I was finally able to diagnose where it came from. As a lot of other people said online and on videos, where the flange meets the pipe, it's rolled and there's a hairline crack all the way around it. I'm not sure if you guys are able to see it very well, but it goes almost all the way around. And so even if you weren't going to do an upgraded header job, you could pull that off, bring it to any welding shop or weld it yourself, and probably remedy the issue and then slap it back on. But yeah, I was just blown away at one, after looking at it closely, how well it does not flow. The new ones are just very smooth, and there's no longer any resistance on the low end. I know driving around town, I used to feel like the Toyota was a slug, and I could barely get up to highway speeds when merging onto the interstate. And now with these shorties on, it feels like almost a modern car, and that's much appreciated. It sounds awesome as well. Not too loud, but a good throaty, mellow, deep sound at the back. But I wanted to touch on a couple tools I've been using. So right here below, I have a ratcheting wrench set. This is very helpful on working some of those nuts off, and then also getting them back on. Second thing I would say is this flex head 3/8. I got this at Harbor Freight. I want to say somewhere around 20-ish bucks. This thing, I was able to slap on a 14 millimeter socket on the end of it, and an extended one, and kind of pivot it back like that. And I was able to break free most of the nuts with just that alone. On some of the tougher ones, I would like use a cheater bar and get some extra leverage on it. And then thirdly, this impact swivel socket, again, Harbor Freight, came with a 1/2-inch drive as well. That was invaluable for reaching some of those really tough angles, especially near the motor mounts. What I would do is slip on a short extension for the 3/8 onto that with the 14 millimeter, and by my fingers I would kind of weave it into the tight area, and then get it sit on the nut, and then I would attach the ratchet to it and break it free. But basically I wanted to also discuss how I got this driver's side one on, which it was a complete pain. Real quick, got a new black exhaust tip on there. It was on sale at AutoZone. It was like 14 bucks. I think it really looks good. But for the driver's side, I tried for probably 2 hours to get it in from the top. I removed as much of this stuff as I could. I literally could not get it out. So after I was completely exhausted and about ready to give up, I came down here and I was like, there is no way I'm gonna be able to fit it up in that area right there. So I tried. I undid the exhaust hanger right here, tried to push the exhaust out of the way, and wasn't able to get any room. I detached some of those power steering lines and still had this detached, still wasn't able to get it up. And then I finally looked back this way and I was like, oh, I can disassemble this Y pipe. Long story short, I disassembled this, pulled the whole unit out, and it gave me plenty of room to fit that header up there, and it would have saved me about 2 hours. So for all you Sequoia guys, or maybe even Forerunner guys that are going to install these headers, I would definitely recommend looking to see if your exhaust has this piece you can pull out. I'm not sure how the tundras are set up, but if I would have known that tip from the start, it would have saved me a lot of headache. But basically, fit real smooth up there. Only other thing I would mention is before you put your header up in there, make sure all your studs are screwed into the engine block. Whenever I pulled a couple off, I know that some of them were very rusty. And they would come out as a whole unit with the nuts. So make sure that they're put on there, and you can then slip your header over them and not have to figure out how to screw in the stud through the flange on your new header while you're above it. Get that done beforehand. But also, I'll go ahead and put on a exhaust clip, and you'll be able to see how it sounds. In my opinion, it sounds very good, so stay tuned.